Welcome to Minecraft. This is Rithian Shian, and today we're going to take a look at my Minecraft world. Right now we are in my bedroom of my house. Got our Hellhound trophy above the bed. Bookshelf full of books. Lots of witchery. Haven't really delved into that yet. Thaumcraft, also haven't delved into that all too much. A little enchantment book I have. Botania. Immersive engineering is one that I've actually done quite a bit of, and Tinker's Construct. There's a lot of immersive engineering I haven't done since this is the first pack I've had with immersive engineering in it. I am playing, what's it called? Unabridged on the AT launcher. So, this is my bedroom. Real nice. It's biffy. Say, shipping a bottle up there. And if we head downstairs, you can see out the windows. Not much to see there. We got ourselves a nice fireplace. We have ourselves a broom closet, complete with broom. Brewing stand. Chest with a bunch of saplings in it. And if we come in here, automatic door. Got ourselves a cuckoo clock and a map of the place. So currently we are in the house right here. Up here, this is my pasture. Back here is a pig pen. You can see a bridge here heading off to Shauna's place. This, you can probably see out the, no, you can't see it out the window. This is my, what is it? My coke oven and creosote oil storage. This is a windmill. Ooh, right there, map disappears. Power station. This is my farming area, and this is my main factory building. So, this map is in my kitchen, as you can see. Got ourselves an oven and stove top and a fridge. And don't mind this mod, but I'm not sure about the colors they chose. It's a little clashy. A little steak knife set. Steak knife set. Why do I want to put an SH there? I don't know. So we're going to go this way first. We have our dock. You can see the bridge there. What that is for, and you know what? I will just go show it off right now. This is a rail line that's supposed to run to Shauna's place. As you can see, it's under construction. Originally, I was going to use electric rails, but as I was powering them, I kept finding that lag just went through the roof, and it was just impossible to deal with. So over there, I was attempting to build a laser miner thing that needs to, what is it called? We'll just go take a look. I have a backpack, a jetpack, so I can fly. Mama, I can fly. I can fly. So what is this thing called? A laser drill. So I have the hole down there. I just use dynamite to make that. And I have it kind of set up, and I believe it is supplying me with stuff, but it still needs a lot of work. I'm trying to supply it with not ME, Mine Factory Reloaded. Mine Factory Reloaded steam power. Here we have a water wheel I made. It's about the maximum size, I believe, because we got 3 from this side and 3 from this side. And it produces nice steady power. It's a decent amount of power. We go up here, we got a statue made out of obsidian. This is the rail line here, so we're just going to jump down it. Whee! Boom. So, I went through here and I mined out, and I would just use my hammer and go ahead, and then I'd come over to, because then I could see this wall and this wall, and I'd mine it out, and this wall and this wall, and mine it out. And I did that a whole bunch, and as you can see on the mini-map, it's very well honeycombed out. Originally I had a chest here to store things, but then I built this rail line so I could pop things in here. And in fact, let's pop some things in here now. A doll? Sure, why not? That, and I believe we can shift click things in there, but I don't want to get rid of anything else. And we can hit the button, and off she goes. We're gonna fly up after it now that I've got a backpack, a jetpack, backpack that is. So up here, woo! This here switches the power to the elevator track off, and so then when the cart comes back, it can actually go down. And as you can see, it's already coming back. And what it did is it went into my factory building that you see all the smoke coming out of, went into there, unloaded into the inventory system, and then came back out. Pretty nifty stuff. It was one of the first things I built. Here you can see the chimney puffing away. And we got another windmill going on up there. I haven't shown you the first one, but this is the second one. So here's the pasture. Originally I would farm trees out here, and I still have some trees. I got chickens. I got myself some sheeps and horses. No cows, not yet. No cows yet. That's fine though. Throw some eggs. So we're gonna go back here, jump over the fence. And we needed pink slime for something. I don't remember what it was. So we built a pig shed. There's an automatic feeder back there so that they'll breed, and then they get the babies get shoved over here. They grow up and they get eaten. The double fence, because they would try to force their ways out, and then they would actually somehow be able to force their way out and clip out and escape, which was no good. As you can see, we got a little bit of pink slime, and we got some raw meat nuggets. I have since stopped using it because I had all the pink crystal I needed. Here is our portal to the nether. Got some statues of some hellhounds made out of, I believe it's brass or bronze. So it lets you use the material, but it doesn't know what it is. As you can see, unknown material. But if you go through the portal without actually going through the portal, we have a little thatch building, or thatch roofed building I'm making back here. This is actually one of my newest construction projects. I was trying to put moss on top. I need a little bit of more moss, so I wanted to kind of make it look like it's been sitting out in the woods for a long time. And if you come inside, you know, it's not really filled with anything yet. And this is going to be a witchery building if I ever finish it. And yep. So these weird shapes I come up with for my houses, I sort of just have like an area, you know, it fits between this tree and that tree, and it gives me like a weird like shape. And then I turn that into a building, and I get these interestingly shaped houses. Or at least more interesting than your normal little block area. So as you can see, it's getting dark. One thing that I would definitely recommend if you're ever playing, if you have access to sleeping bags, they are wonderful. You just sleep, plop down, and off you go. Don't have to worry no more. So we're gonna save that for about last. So we're gonna run over here. We have ourselves our coke oven and our creosote oil. We have plenty of that. And here we have it being beamed out to the world with our ender tank. Real nice. Not much to see there. Here we have some logs. There's a little bit of mushrooms growing on it. And we have those strapped down. This used to be all trees here. These big dark, what are these called? Dark oak wood trees used to cover all this. And we have our bees, because you gotta have bees. What I was trying to do with the bees is grow so that I would have all the different bees that produce things, but it's a lot of work. It took me a while just to get what I have going. So we got flax for string. We have potatoes and carrots. Here we're trying to make, well, it's all weeds now. I was attempting to make ones that grow nether quartz, because I started getting into the applied energistics stuff. Computing, applied energetics and energistics computing, and I need a lot of nether quartz in order to make the fiber cables. And nether quartz is just hard to come by right now. It's the most valuable resource for me. Alright, so here we have some Wolfsbane, Belladonna, and Snowbell. I haven't done much with it because I haven't actually gotten into witchery yet. I needed wheat for something. Oh yeah, I needed wheat to make that thatched roof. Here we have our ender lilies growing. The water artichokes are mostly to make it look like, it's a pond that's all filled with plant growth, and maybe it's a little scummy and stuff like that. Uh, Candelia, haven't really done much with that. Flax plant, haven't done much with this one. This, you need a lot of this industrial hemp to do the windmills um, from immersive engineering. So here we have sugarcane and some more carrots because I need lots of carrots for the pigs and more bees. Let's go over to the power station. You can see smoke coming up. And outside we have a diesel engine, but I don't actually have diesel being made to power it. Here we have the thermal expansion fluid transposers. It's taking the lava from here. So we have a lava fabricator being powered, putting it into an iron tank. So we have lots of lava. It comes out, fluid transposed into buckets, buckets into the steam boilers, which heats up the steam boiler, turns the water, which I have being coming out of these blocks, going into here. Water turns into steam. Steam comes through to these steam turbines. One of these can power like 5 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then so I have 1, 2, 3, 4 of these set up, and that's where most of my power comes from. Here we have a biogenerator. I use those quite a bit for a while. Stirling generators, use those for a little while. This is a giant door that leads out to this that I'm still not using. Maybe someday. And then we have my first, so this is my second renewable source of power. Because I was trying to find a decent source of power, and the first attempt was to build all of these solar generators. Here I'm humming away. So have all these set up, and this was all my power. But then, like, all of these produce together as much power as like 1 or 2 of these. So this was just the better option after I started doing this. And then of course I was like halfway done up there, so I was like, well, I better finish it so it doesn't look like complete BS. You know, it does look kind of weird because they take up the space, but then they leave these open. I'm not sure how I feel about that because it looks weird. You can see between here and see that nice wooden floor. If it rains, it's gonna get all sopping wet and ruin my floor and stuff like that. Never mind. Never mind this. What you saw there. I'm not dumping toxic waste into the pond out back or anything. That would be highly illegal, I do believe. So, yeah, you didn't see that. And let's go this way. So this is the first windmill I built. And next we're visiting this big building. First statue I made. Alright, so let's go in here. So this is the first room of this building I made, and then this was added on later, and then that was added on later. So I built this big room and I started building my smeltery, and for the first portion of the game I used the smeltery for all my alloys and making my metals because it doubles your ores. And then I added on this little thing, built the train track to have my have my receiving. So right now the way it works is he comes in and he unloads right here, goes into the item unloader, and then out into the ender chest. Before there was just chest there, and I'd have to do everything. No, actually, no, that wasn't a chest. It was a pneumatic tube thing that I don't remember what it is because I don't use them anymore. But it would go into here and then be pushed through pneumatic tubes and went through the wall. And this was originally my warehouse. So I had tubes running back and forth all over the place, and then I had barrels set up. The barrels can store 64 stacks of a single item. So you put the barrel down, and it automatically gets sorted into there because the tube says, well, I can put it in here, and it's the closest thing, so I'm going to put it in here. If I had like a thing for wheat here and an empty one, it would put the wheat in the empty one first. But if I have a wheat one here and an empty one over there, this one's closer to that, um, the receiving, then it would come here and be like, well, I'm going to put it in this one because that one's just way farther away. And I don't want to do that. So that's what I originally had in here, was all storage. And then I had like I had a digital miner here for a long time, just because it was a convenient place to put it. So I've spruced this up quite a bit since I originally started using it. So I have a tank. I can put liquids in here and it'll go into there. I have a magma crucible. I can put things in, ingots in here to melt, and then it'll go inside just in case I need to make any weapons or tools. So here we have tool racks, real nice thingy. Store all your items in it, or your tools in it. Now I messed up the order of my tools. Let's do this quick. There we go. So here we have all our benches that we need for Tinker's Construct. DecoCraft, this makes some of the decorations that you see around. You fill it with clay, and you get the different types of clay, and then you can make things using, you just kind of grab them out. And that is how that works. This is a seed analyzer in order to do the seed thing. This saw bench is basically just like a decoration for me, just like this. I mean, you can use it, I think. Maybe you need an empty hand. Yeah. So you can use this, but I'm not sure what it does, because I haven't actually looked into this mod that much. It's getting faster. I'm hoping that's not echoing in your head too much. Filing cabinet, the PC, desk, you need to keep track of these things, and every office needs a PC. So we're not going to go too far in there because that might get loud, but we have the power coming in, and it goes in here, and we got a nice storage battery, and then we have it going through the floor. If I hold a wrench, you can kind of see through my walls a little bit. So we got power in there, and we have the Applied Energistics computer system, and we have it set up to do a bunch of things automatically now. Let's see how loud it is if I go in here. Alright, so we have the interface terminal. This shows us our interfaces. So we have an interface is what you put the plans in. So what this says is it's attached to the alloy smelter, which is where? Right here. So it's this interface, because this is the alloy smelter. So this interface right there. So this, when I go into the computer, which is here, I can call up and I can call into the computer and say, hey, come on, work. Oh God, am I out of power? What a time. Okay, so we are apparently having power problems. But when I say, hey, make me an electrical steel, it's going to say, okay, well, I need one pulverized coal, one iron ingot, and one silicon. Silicone. Played too much Transformers recently, and all the Decepticons. Some silicone. So it takes that in, sends them to the alloy smelter. It makes the thing, and then it comes out. And once it comes, there goes the power again. Once it comes out, it completes the task because it has like a little computer crafting list. It says, I needed one, and I just received one, so I must be done. If you were to take an electrical steel and put it into the system, it would see it coming in, and it would count that as done, even if it had not crafted anything. Um, so, just basically a bunch of machines. This enrichment chamber is, and the purification chamber. All right, so we have a electrolytic separator, has water coming in. We have the hydrogen venting into the air, I think, which is probably not good. The oxygen is going through a tube into the purification chamber, which is taking the aluminum ore and making aluminum clumps, which where do the aluminum clumps go? I think the aluminum clumps are going into the crusher. The crusher, they again get made into, we're going to see in a second, it's dirty iron dust. The dirty iron dust looks like it's not working yet. The dirty iron dust is supposed to come over here into the enrichment chamber. Then it becomes good iron dust, which then you can smelt somewhere into iron ingots. Here's the chest coming into the system. So that ender chest there, if things go into the ender chest, they go into the computer and get stored. As you can see, we have a bunch of things in here. Up there, what is that? So that's if you need charged quartz crystals, it charges them. This grows quartz, this grows crystals that I need. This is my stamping system because you need to make circuits. These are the basically crafting benches, and these are interfaces. So if it needs to craft these things, it can craft, use either this one, that one, that one, or that one. If I'm crafting a lot of them and these aren't being used, it can use all four of them and craft a lot faster. Centrifuge and squeezer. So one problem is you get a lot of cobblestone and a lot of dirt and maybe a lot of other things. So what I have here is a storage bus. It detects these as part of the computer system, and what it says is I'm going to store it in this chest or into this inventory. It can pull out of the inventory and it can place into the inventory. And I have these upgraded so they hold 128 stacks instead of 64 stacks. And then I also have it set so that when they are full, any additional that go in just go into the void and cease to exist. So in that way, I will never accidentally fill my entire computer system with, I don't want to fill up the computer with just cobblestone and have no room for anything else. Let's get the crossbow, the sweet crossbow I made. It's got plastic as one of its main components. As you can see, it's a pretty fast reload and fire. It's real good. I love it. I haven't used my sword barely at all since I got this. So over here we have the sweet cobra I made. And so I had wanted, for no reason at all, to make a statue of a cobra. So I came over and I made this little building and I put the cobra on top and actually that's probably not how it worked. I think I wanted to make the building out of sandstone and then it had these things with a snake and I'm like, oh, I'll put a cobra on top. So then I call it Cobra Computer System. Yay! So this is my computer. So that's the main controller block, and it's those dense cables go out and you can work it with applied energistics so that you can use these cables. And so these are dense ones which carry 32, I believe, 32 channels, so I can have 32 items hooked up to them. So I have a couple of those going out. Over here we have power coming in, and then we have a terminal. Power's out again. A terminal. This one doesn't have a crafting because you don't need to craft in here. This is just where everything is. But you can see the items in here. And then we have the ME drives. So these are where your hard drives, where everything gets stored on. I believe that one is full, and this one has no types left. Yeah, looks about right. And then this is the crafting monitor. So if I craft something, this is what does the crafting. Here is this 4K crafting storage. So it says, hey, make this thing. This is the computer. This does the actual processing. Like, okay, take this and put it with this, and then you get this out. And that is that. So we have a nice little wall here because we had a hill and had to cut it short. We don't want it to rain and like flush all the dirt down the hill, so we put up a nice little retaining wall. And then I planted some flowers on it because you want things to look nice. And I do believe that is my place. So thank you for joining me. Hope it wasn't too boring. And hanging plants. And you guys have a good day. Thank you. Bye bye.